So what is harmony? Harmony is the vertical aspect of music as opposed to melody, which is the horizontal aspect of music. If you could play several melodies at once and then freeze those melodies at any time, the vertical aspect of those melodies would be harmony. Early composers became aware of harmony first in their melodic music. In this musical example, the opening Kyrie from Palestrina's Mass Esternia Christi Minora, a piece of imitative polyphony, we can deduce harmony occurring in the second bar on beat 3. Note that the soprano, alto and tenor spell out FCA, which is an F trad. Here it's in first inversion. The first beat of bar 3 spells out a B flat trad, and the second beat in bar 3, two notes, E and G. They could imply E diminished, leading to an F trad in beat 3 of bar 3. So we can see that early music, being melodic and linear, is made up of horizontal strands. These horizontal strands heard simultaneously make counterpoint, but the effect at any one moment frozen vertically would be harmony. The presence of harmony does not preclude counterpoint or vice versa. In fact, it would be difficult to imagine pure harmony without any melodic interest whatsoever, but easy to imagine pure melody such as birdsong, plainsong and folk song. I wanted to give you that introduction to help you have a definition of harmony, which is quite difficult to explain in simple terms. If you didn't understand what I was saying, don't worry, we are starting right at the beginning, so everything I've just said should become clearer later on. When studying jazz harmony, I think we should first start by looking at chord symbols and what they mean. But first, let's take a look at what a chord is. Harmony is the vertical aspect of music, so logically a chord must be a series of notes played vertically. A chord is made up of 3 notes built up from a root in intervals of a third. This is called a trad. Any other note added to the chord is called a tension, which I will talk about later. But for now, all you need to know is that tensions are built from the root of the chord. Hence the chord C6 would indicate an added note to the basic trad, a 6th above the root. The chord is not continually built in thirds above the basic trad, as some people seem to think. This is a mistake. Do not think like this. All other notes apart from the basic trad are counted from the root, hence 9th, 11th, 13th, etc. There are 4 types of trad chords: major, minor, augmented and diminished. The term perfect, as in perfect 4/5, applies only to intervals, not to chords. To construct the chords in a major key, we first start with the major scale. I will use C major for simplicity. Above each note in the scale we place 2 more pitches. The first pitch a third above the note from the scale, the second pitch a third above the second pitch. Note that all the pitches used to build the chords are from the key of C major. They are diatonic to C major. The diatonic trads in the key of C major contain 3 of the 4 possible tradic chords, major, minor and diminished. If the intervallic relationships with each chord are studied, these chord types and their characteristics can be seen. Major trads are chords with intervals of a major third from the root to the middle note and a perfect 5th from the root to the top note. Minor trads are chords with intervals of a minor third and perfect 5th from the root respectively. A diminished trad is a chord with an interval of a minor third and diminished 5th from the root. Each trad chord will be identified with a Roman numeral representing the scale degree of the bottom pitch or root. The 4th type of trad, besides major, minor and diminished, is the augmented trad. It is abbreviated either aug or across. The augmented trad has a major and an augmented 5th from the root. Please note, the Augmented Trad is not diatonic to any major key. Its usage will be discussed later. There is one more type of chord. It is very common in contemporary music and it doesn't fit the normal pattern of stacked thirds. It is the suspended fourth chord. The chord symbol used is sus4. Please write this chord as a sus4 chord, not simply sus. In concert music we see other types of sus chords, so write sus4 to be clear what you are saying. A suspended fourth trad is a chord in which the fourth degree replaces the third degree. Chord symbols are shorthand expressions used to describe trads and extended chords. A chord symbol may contain several components: the designated information about the basic trad, alterations of chord members, and extensions of the trad. The root name is the first component of the trad. The second component of the chord symbol is a quality designator. The four quality designators that we will use in abbreviated form are major, M-A-J, minor, M-I-N, diminished, D-I-M, and augmented, A-U-G. The third component of the chord symbol is a numerical designator that can indicate an extension to a note of the basic trad or an extension of the basic trad by a 6th, 7th, 9th, 11th or 13th. These three components can be combined and compounded in many different ways. Chord notation is not standardized among music writers and publishers, and you will find other methods of notation in printed music. Learn to recognize them all. I will base this course on standard US symbols recognized by the American Armed Forces.